Boy, this day has been a long time coming. It was February of 2013. Brian Gulish started doing Chair Shot Reality with Josh and myself. And from that point on, it has been the countdown to when Sting would finally arrive in WWE. We knew it was coming eventually because he started doing business with him earlier this year. And finally, on November 23rd, Survivor Series, St. Louis, The Undertaker, The Shield, The Rock, add Sting to the list of people who made their WWE live event appearance at Survivor Series. Gulish, I know you're excited.
I am excited.
But you're a little distraught, too.
I am a little distraught. It's with mixed emotions, and here's why. I've been warned by numerous people. Now, granted, the last time I really watched Sting full-time is when he fought Ric Flair last Nitro.
You weren't a TNA Sting guy.
I wasn't a TNA Sting guy. I did watch time to time. I'd pull it up, watch YouTube, and sometimes I would catch it on Spike. But as I mentioned, I put up a picture comparison 17 years ago to Starrcade 1997 against Hulk Hogan when he came back and he had that full transformation, the hair, the outfit, and everything. And that's the one thing that hit me on Sunday night was, wow, the warnings I should have heeded.
Why do you think we're calling him T-Shirt Steve?
Well, yeah, T-Shirt Steve. I understand that, but until you actually saw him, and I thought they would have done something like what they do to the Undertaker usually. They dye his hair, things like that to make the Undertaker look younger than he really is. They could have dyed his hair. They could have slicked it back. It just seemed like, even his face paint. If you look at his face paint, it looked like it was just like put on, and it wasn't.
Well, they might have kept him hidden for a while. That might have been why. I don't know.
But it definitely seemed like it was smeared in some places, and the white wasn't as like dark and coated on as it should have been.
See, I didn't have as high. I didn't have the expectations you were, so I wasn't disappointed. He did get the hair at least to. I don't know. He tried to get it to something. I don't know. I didn't think it was as bad. Thank God he's got a trench coat and face paint on. But nevertheless, looks aside, and he can always evolve the look, and he might look at himself from Survivor Series, and before we see him the next time on WWE TV, he might find a way to better improve a youthful look.
I think they will.
So what was your reaction overall, though, besides his appearance?
Of Survivor Series.
Well, to Sting's appearance.
But you said Raw.
Well, no, it's a Sting.
Well, Sting in general, I was stoked. I mean, as soon as I saw Armstrong come back and he coiled what seemed like for 3 seconds after the one count, and you knew something was about to happen. And as soon as I heard the crow cry, I shot up because I knew it right away. And I looked at my wife who was watching it with me, and I said, it's Sting. And then you watch the video, and you're just waiting, and he walks out. And I sent one tweet out, and she looked at me and said, just enjoy it. Don't tweet. And I wouldn't have tweeted after that first tweet because I was literally froze. I was speechless. I didn't know what to think, what we were going to see, and I just was quiet. And from a theatrical standpoint, the production of WWE was perfect. They showed the video. They showed him coming out. They continued when he stood and paused and took in the crowd in St. Louis. They did a real cool zoom back, kind of like what they did with Hulk Hogan back at WrestleMania, and then zoom back into him. That's a really cool thing that they'll use, and you'll see that in video packages from year to come. He walks to the ring, takes out Armstrong, walks in, and I
like how him and Triple H did the good guy, bad guy, cowboy thing.
And I actually and I talked to our friend Dave Hero, who was at the event live, sitting almost ringside, and I said, "What did it sound like in the arena?" Because on TV, when people were chanting, "This is awesome," and Sting acknowledged the crowd for that one, and he was kind of taking it in. Dave said, I said on a scale of 1 to 10, he said it was 11, how loud the pop was, and I said it didn't come across like that on TV, at least to me. Now, I've watched it 50, 60 times since, but that's not exaggerating either.
I know, that's why I'm laughing.
But he definitely, I think that the moment was great. It was perfect. No words were spoken except for when Triple H, dropped an F-bomb, kind of like, what are you doing here? This is my time. And then Sting gave him the little head nod and said, like, excuse me, or pardon me. I forget what he said. And the only other thing from the actual interaction of him and Triple H that I would have changed slightly was the fact that it was a kick. And the kick was, preceded by a 5-second delay before he actually dropped him. I would have liked to seen a Scorpion or a Stinger splash, maybe. I would have liked to seen something. Obviously, the death drop was intense. I mean, that was
Triple H sold.
Yeah, he sold, and Sting went down. There was no easy walk over, roll over.
But now you didn't like the commentary. That was your thing too, right?
I also didn't like JBL. I had no problem with Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler because they didn't say much. They said what needed to be said. But whether Vince prepped and this is how they wanted it done to let the fans know who don't know who Sting is.
That's
he's
what
a
it is.
six-time. But I just
it's a
think
free trial. You got these kids watching. They
could have introduced Sting in that line later. I think it should have been, oh my God, and then Jerry Lawler says what, and Michael Cole says it's Sting, and Jerry Lawler goes what, and Michael Cole goes, what is he doing here? And but then JBL gets into it with all his things, the franchise, the icon, and he said he's making a hell of an impact. He literally walked out. What impact did he make at that time?
Well, he stopped the ending of the match. But, we have the rest of the hour to talk about this, but I'll say this. Closing point with the JBL. It's better that JBL did that whole, here's all of his accolades, then when he's standing at the entranceway, and that way they could keep silence so you could just watch the stare down. That's better.
Silence
you don't want them talking during the ring. You don't want them talking when they're doing the OK Corral stare down. All right, we got so much more to talk about the rest of the hour. It's your last chance to talk wrestling with us before the Thanksgiving holiday. 412-320-7925. Don't go anywhere.